The top stories tonight in Y News. Suspended Bureau of Corrections Chief Gerald Bantag says he will abide by and answer the subpoena issued against him over the murder of broadcaster Percy Lapid and middleman June Villamor. The Philippine National Police asked for the help of the Land Transportation Office to pinpoint the owner of the Alphard with police logo that went viral on social media. The Philippine delegation faces the United Nations Human Security Council to address the issue of extrajudicial killings in the country. And Russian President Vladimir Putin proposes on their new draft law to revoke the passports of Russians who criticize the Ukraine war. Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Tuesday, November 15, 2022. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. I am William Theo. We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. First in the news, suspended Bureau of Corrections Chief Gerald Bantag on Tuesday said he will abide by and answer the subpoena issued against him over the murder of broadcaster Percy Lapid and middleman June Villamor. Dante Amento tells us why.
Senior Assistant State Prosecutor Charlie Guhit disclosed the subpoena against suspended Bucor Chief Gerald Bantag was served to his last known address in Caloocan City today. But the barangay chairman allegedly told the process server Bantag is not anymore staying in Caloocan after his appointment in Bucor. Guhit, on the other hand, clarified for them or insofar as the prosecution is concerned, the subpoena is deemed served. Based on the subpoena, Bantag is required to appear before the DOJ on November 23, 2022 at 9 o'clock in the morning and on December 5, 2022 at 1 o'clock in the afternoon for the preliminary investigation. Meanwhile, in a phone interview with UNTV, Bantag's lawyer, attorney Rocky Tomas Balisong, said they will face the charges against his client and will file the counter-affidavit upon receipt of the subpoena.
We will just hit it siguro sa barangay chairman kung totoong iniwan nila doon at yun ang procedure na lang. Hindi naman namin iniiwasan yan. In fact, we were very eager talaga to receive the subpoena so that we can answer it.
Balisong clarified his client is still not a wanted and also not hiding.
So I am constantly getting in touch with him. Kasi there is no reason for him to hide talaga. There is no reason. A preliminary investigation pa yan. Dapat kasi ang pinuportray nila is wanted na si General. No.
Attorney Danilo Pilahio, Lapid's family's legal counsel, meanwhile, said that the subpoena is part of the process for the preliminary investigation. If indeed there will be probable cause to charge Bantag in court, a warrant of arrest will subsequently be issued. Dante Amento, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
Meanwhile, the Philippine delegation has faced again the United Nations Human Security Council. Justice Secretary Crispin Remulla responded to some concerns of extrajudicial killings in the country following the anti-illegal drugs operations by the police. Remulla said that the Philippines needs a law for the purpose of reorganizing the Philippine National Police wherein transparency will be observed.
Investigate all allegations of extrajudicial killings and ensure accountability, including through continued engagement with the UN Joint Programme on Human Rights.
The most important probably is a legislative agenda of restructuring our police, our national police force organizational structure so that the internal affairs cluster will be given an independence not given right now in our law. This will answer many questions about the EJ case or even the impunity that is being spoken about.
The Justice Chief also highlighted some agenda to protect human rights in the Philippines through real justice in a real-time effort by both the DOJ and the law enforcers. The Philippine National Police asked for the help of the Land Transportation Office to pinpoint the owner of the Alphard with PNP logo that went viral on social media. PNP spokesperson Colonel Jean Fajardo said the LTO has the power to issue the show cause order to the owner of the luxury car. Leia Ilagan tells us why.
The Philippine National Police or PNP failed to locate the owner of Alphard with PNP logo that went viral on social media. PNP spokesperson Police Colonel Jean Fajardo said the PNP Highway Patrol Group or HPG visited the address in Pasay but the company is not located there.
Humingi na po tayo ng tulong sa LTO para po tulungan tayo na matrace kung saan po yung whereabouts nitong registered owner at kung sakaling may record po na nai-transfer na po ito sa isang individual.
The Land Transportation Office or LTO have the power to issue show cause order for the owner to appear at LTO office.
Nakipag-ugnayan na nga po sa LTO para tulungan po tayo matrace at sila po kasi yung may authority na mag-issue po ng show cause order. Otherwise po ay po pwede pong i-cancel ang kanilang permit to travel. I mean yung kanilang lisensya at yung kanilang mga rehistro ay po pwede pong magawa ng aksyon po ng LTO.
The PNP appeals to the owner to turn himself to the police station to explain his side.
Kusa na po sana siyang mag-appear sa amin o sa pinakamalapit na police station para po linawin po at harapin po yung possible na kaso sa kanya dahil base nga po dito sa ating investigation na hindi po siya authorized gumamit nitong mga police marking.
Colonel Fajardo said, using the PNP logo is a violation of Article 179 of Revised Penal Code and he may face usurpation of authority.
Pwede po kayong maharap sa penalty ng aresto mayor. Yung aresto mayor po is pagkakakulong po ng 1 month and 1 day up to 6 months po.
Colonel Fajardo warned the public that the PNP will apprehend any private vehicle with PNP logo. Leia Ilagan, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
The Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board or LTFRB will be consulting the National Economic and Development Authority to decide on surge fare petition of jeepney transport groups. JP Nunez tells us why.
The first hearing for the surge fare petition of transport groups was held earlier today. It was the joint petition filed by Alliance of Concerned Transport Organizations or ACTO, Alliance of Transport Operators and Drivers Association of the Philippines or ALTODAP, and Pasang Mazda last month, which they seek to impose 1 peso fare hike during rush hour on public jeepneys. During the hearing, the petitioners asked the board for 30 days to file their memorandum on their position on surge fare hike. The LTFRB did not disclose any information they discussed during the hearing, but the agency said they will be consulting the National Economic and Development Authority or NEDA on the matter.
Based on the hearing, we will seek the approval of our opinion of NEDA also again kasi surge naman to.
The next hearing was scheduled on February 2023. Though the petitioners respect the availability of the board, the 3 months which will pass may have impact on jeepney drivers as price of petroleum products is still increasing.
Yung 3 buwan na yun, marami pang mangyayari sa amin sa transportasyon. Hindi namin alam kung ano magiging fate namin. Baka mamaya mataas na ang presyo, kanya yun naman sinasabi ng abogada namin. Well, of course, kailangan sundin natin ng board. Igalang natin ng decision sapagkat yung availability nila is only on February 23. But well, of course, yung binigay na 30 days namin to submit na memorandum, malaking bagay sa amin yun.
Meanwhile, Pasang Mazda National President said their request from the board is only temporary while diesel price is still reaching around 80 pesos per liter.
Pansamantala lamang na habang tumataas ang presyo ng petroleum product, hindi naman ito magiging permanent. Kung mag-regular price na, babalik natin sa dati ang aming pamasahe. Well, siguro, pagka bumaba na tayo ng mga 60, pwede na natin ibabayan.
JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The House of Representatives gave a final nod to a bill seeking to protect caregivers. With 271 affirmative votes, House Bill number 227, or the Caregiver Welfare Act, has been approved on the third and final reading. Under the said bill, caregivers will be protected against abuse, harassment, violence, and economic exploitation. The bill also requires an employment contract for caregivers, detailing the duties, responsibilities, compensation, and period of employment. This would promote better welfare and decent employment for caregivers, as the country has high demand for the said profession. The Philippine National Police Anti-Cybercrime Group have determined that a 16-year-old grade 9 student was behind the bomb threat in schools of Taguig City on November 7. Jenice Inhente tells us why.
Taguig City Mayor Lani Cayetano appealed to the public to refrain from further trouble and shame against the suspect behind the bomb threat in schools in the city. The Philippine National Police Anti-Cybercrime Group, or PNP-ACG, have determined that a minor or a 16-year-old grade 9 student was behind the Facebook account named Sophia Smith, who commented bomb threats on a live stream of Taguig LGU FB page on November 7. PNP-ACG said they checked the IP address and grid coordinated to determine the exact location of the suspect in residential area in Barangay Central Signal, Taguig. The minor suspect is now under the custody of the city's Social Welfare and Development Office, who has the role to safeguard the child. According to Taguig City Mayor Lani Cayetano, cases are being prepared to be filed and legal process roll and let the law punish the perpetrators.
Ito po ang apel ako sa publiko, huwag po nating palalain yung sitwasyon sa pamamagitan po ng paggawa ng mga aksyong makakasakit o makakapinsala sa suspect, lalo na po kay Sophia Smith na isa pong menor de edad. Ang mga kaso po na isasampa po natin ay hinahanda niya, hayaan po natin na gumulong ang legal na proseso at batas. Yan po ay hihintayin na natin na maparusahan ang mga salarin.
Aside from the said minor, PNP-ACG also found out in the forensic examination of the recovered mobile phone that Facebook accounts of different people were logged on at the same IP address. Taguig Chief of Police, Police Colonel Robert Baisa said the suspect was not alone when she made the threat.
May matibay kaming dahilan upang maniwala na ang suspect sa likod ng Sophia Smith account ay hindi solong gumawa ng pagbabanta, kundi may mga kasama siyang ibang tao. Lumalabas na mayroon galit sa school at sa ilang teachers ang mga nagbabanta, kaya ginawa nila ang post na pananakot. Isa sa kanila ay dating street sweeper ng lungsod na tinanggal ng may kadahilanan. Maaaring ito po ang kanyang motibo sa pagbabanta sa naghahasik ng kaguluhan sa syudad.
Suspects may face charges of grave threats, bomb scare threats, and act of terrorism, according to Taguig PNP. Janice Inhente, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And for our news abroad, Russian President Vladimir Putin proposes on their new draft law to revoke the passports of Russians who criticized the Ukraine war. Nerissa Dando will tell us why live. Nerissa?
Good evening, Ka. Putin threatens to revoke the Russian passports and citizenships of non-birth citizens who spread false information, criticize the Russian army, or question Russia's advance on Ukraine. The targeted people are largely the thousands of Ukrainians who were either forced or left with no choice but to switch nationalities during Moscow's invasion back in February. Changes to the new bill comes right after the Kremlin were humiliatingly forced to retreat from Kherson City under the advancing threat of the Ukrainian army. According to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, the United Nations General Assembly has started acting on the Russian crimes in Ukraine. The amendments in Putin's new law has only gone through the first reading in in April. Meanwhile, the European Union last week had already decided to stop issuing Russian passports to residents under invaded regions. Kath?
Thank you, Nerissa Dando, reporting live from Japan. An agreement between UK and France has been signed on Monday to have more police patrol the beach in northern France and to hinder asylum seekers from crossing the English Channel in small boats. In the agreement, France will increase the security presence by 40%, and the British government has agreed to pay France 72.2 million euros in 2022 to 2023. 350 armed French police will guard the beaches in Calais and Dunkirk and use more drones and night vision equipment to help officers detect crossings. This also aims to fight crimes and help gather information from the caught asylum seekers and help stop the people smuggling gangs that organize the journeys. Thousands of people from around the world travel to northern France yearly to try and cross the English Channel to reunite with friends or family or to be able to look for work in the UK. So far this year, more than 40,000 people have made the journey across the Channel and dozens have died over the years, including 27 people in November 2021 when a smuggling boat capsized. We'll share more global stories with you later, but for now, back to you, William.
Yes, thank you, Kath. An agricultural group agrees if the government will decide to import onion amid the continuous rising of prices in the market. A DA official earlier said that they are assessing the inventory of onion supply in the country to know if importation is needed. Ray Pelayo will tell us why.
According to the Samahang Industriang Agrikultura or SINAG, there is a shortage of onion supply in the country. The group is in favor if the government will allow importation.
Wala nang stocks ang mga cooperative and farmers. Nasa traders na lang yan. Kaya kaya nilang yung presyo talaga ipataas. Dapat mag-issue na ng Bureau of Land Industry to import red and white up to December.
Earlier today, Agriculture Senior Undersecretary Domingo Panganiban announced that they will check the inventory of onion supply in the country to determine if it is necessary to import. The prevailing retail price of onion in Metro Manila markets now reach 280 pesos per kilogram. But Yusek Panganiban said that the decision depends on President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., who is now the Secretary of DA.
Sabi ko, I call at the Bureau of Land Industry to take a survey and see what can be done for the President to agree or disagree and whether we have to import or not. But this should be urgent.
The Philippine Chamber of Agriculture and Food Incorporated said that importation of onion may be allowed as long as it will not arrive during harvest season.
10 to 15,000 will still be okay.
So
but more than that, you will already affect the prices of farm feed prices of those that will harvest coming season.
Ray Pelayo, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
House Committee on Agriculture and Food approves House bill seeking to include smuggling of tobacco products and cigarettes as an act of economic sabotage and should be accountable to laws. Eileen Cerudo will tell us why.
The country records 26 billion peso loss in revenue from tobacco smuggling, according to PBA Party List Representative Margarita Nograles. According to Representative Nograles, the loss of revenue in tobacco smuggling not only affects the country's economy but also the livelihood of tobacco farmers.
This resulted in an estimated 26 billion annually. If this continues to upsurge, it will affect our local tobacco industry, and roughly 2.2 million kababayans will be affected.
The lawmaker further explains that the revenue collected from the tobacco industry funds government's various programs. House Bill number 3917, approved by the House panel, aims to include tobacco smuggling in order for violators to also be accountable for their actions. Companies in the tobacco industry supports the said bill, saying it will be a strong deterrent against smugglers and counterfeiters of tobacco products. Meanwhile, the Federation of Free Farmers called on a stronger implementation of the Anti-Agricultural Smuggling Act of 2016. Federation of Free Farmers National Manager Raul Montemayor said proven smugglers should be convicted and face penalties.
Smuggling is a very important concern, pero wala pa tayong nahuhuli. Mukhang baka mas malaki pa ang nawawala sa atin pagdating sa undervaluation.
He also cites more government revenue loss if agricultural smuggling will not be resolved. The House Committee on Agriculture and Food agree on amending the Anti-Agricultural Smuggling Act of 2016 and impose stronger penalties against smugglers. Eileen Cerudo, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has appointed Romeo June Lamagi Jr. as the new Commissioner of the Bureau of Internal Revenue, or BIR. Lumagi served as BIR Deputy Commissioner before his appointment and has been designated as a technical assistant to the Commissioner. He also served as tax fraud head for Revenue Region Number 6, Manila, Revenue Region Number 4, Pampanga, and Revenue Region Number 7B, East National Capital Region. Lumagi earned a law degree from the Ateneo de Manila University School of Law, and he also got the 19th place in the Philippine bar exams. He was admitted to the bar on May 10, 2006. Lumagi took his oath as new BIR Commissioner before President Marcos at Malacanang.
Hundreds of residents in New South Wales, Australia, are being told to evacuate their homes due to flood risk. Maven Dog tells us why live. Maeve?
Kath, towns in New South Wales Central West areas are facing devastating floods as one of the major dams, the Wayangla Dam, spills record amounts of water. Floods across the state have reached 10 to 14 meters high, the highest levels recorded for the second time in the recent weeks. These are similar to the readings from a flood 70 years ago in the state. Over 150 rescues were carried out so far in Ugara using helicopters and boats, while floods destroyed the road and a bridge into the town of Canandra and are reported to be moving whole houses downstream. The State Emergency Service told residents of low-lying areas in another town, Forbes, to evacuate their homes this morning, stating that the nearby Lachlan River connected to the Wayangla Dam is rising faster than anticipated each day. State Premier Dominic Perrottet said the next few days will be a tough period for the communities, but reassured residents that they will get through this challenge. Around 500 to 600 homes and businesses are expected to be flooded as river levels reach over 10 meters. 17 flood warnings are currently in place for the 25 areas in Central West New South Wales. Back to you, Kath.
Thank you, Maven Dog, reporting live from Australia. More than 3,000 public health experts and scientists that were hired by nonprofit connected to Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC, will lose jobs at this critical time. Ia De Vera will give us the details live. Yes, Ia?
Kath, the CDC Foundation, which is an independent nonprofit body that supports CDC's work, employed 4,000 skilled epidemiologists, communication experts, and health nurses during the COVID-19 pandemic. Due to contracts ending for the majority of public health workers, only 800 employees are keeping their jobs, as the foundation spent nearly $289 million in COVID relief budget. With no plans of renewing contracts by CDC Foundation, over 3,000 health workers will be jobless, and many local and state health sectors will face staff shortages during a possible increase of COVID cases this winter, in addition to ongoing threat of monkeypox, cases of sexually transmitted infections, and other health concerns. Over decades, the U.S. public health workforce is underfunded, and just before COVID-19 pandemic, it was found in a 2020 Associated Press KHN investigation that only 28% of local health sectors had a statistician or epidemiologist. Moreover, according to new studies in the Journal of Public Health Management and Practice, even if funding is available to keep all 4,000 foundation employees, that will not meet the needed public health staffs. As research says, no less than 80,000 new employees are needed to apply the minimum package of public health services. Back to you, Kath.
Thank you, Ia De Vera, reporting live from New Zealand. The health managers in the United Kingdom urged the government to offer a good deal to end an impending nursing union strike ahead of winter season. This comes after nurses and other healthcare workers in the UK are going on strike over pay and working conditions. From London, United Kingdom, here's Ana Lima to tell us the details live. Anna?
Yes, Kath, the health managers in the United Kingdom said that the UK government and nursing unions need to come to an agreement before the winter hits. This comes after the nurses across the United Kingdom have voted to strike to fight for a pay rise and keep up with higher living costs. The National Health Service, or NHS provider, Chief Executive Saffron Cordery stated that it is with no doubt that the patients will be affected should the strike proceed. The government in England had given the NHS staff a 4.75% pay increase in 2021 to acknowledge their work during the pandemic. However, the Royal College of Nursing, or RCN union, demands for a 17% pay rise, which, according to Health Secretary Steve Barclay, is simply unaffordable. Mr. Barclay will be meeting with major unions in England, including the RCN in Liverpool today. Meanwhile, there are already more than 7 million people who have been waiting for treatment for more than a year. Kath?
Thank you, Ana Lima, reporting live from the United Kingdom. And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe. I'm Kat Maraos, live from Bangkok, Thailand. Good evening.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. shares confidence that his administration will be able to reduce poverty rate in the country to 9% by 2028 before he steps down from office. National Economic and Development Authority Chief and Socio-Economic Planning Secretary Arsenio Balisacan says this is achievable amid global challenges of rapid inflation rate. Balisacan said during a meeting in Malacanang, the 9% goal by 2028 can be achieved by enhancing the quality of growth through the creation of quality jobs and improving social protection system, among others. The protection is part of the Philippine Development Plan 2023 to 2028 of the administration, wherein it sets the 8-point program and contains targets and actionable plans to pursue a greener economy across the country in the next 6 years. Meanwhile, a passenger welfare advocate seeks sustainable free ride on EDSA busway. Today, the Department of Transportation announced 24/7 free rides starting December 1. JP Nunez tells us why.
The EDSA bus carousel had been beneficial to commuters and economic workers, especially this time of pandemic, a passenger welfare advocate emphasized. However, as it is only expected to last until December 31, the Passenger Forum seeks to make the free bus ride sustainable. The group suggests to impose tax on motorcycle taxi companies, which the government can utilize to fund EDSA busway free ride.
Sana ang mas pag-isipan, hindi yung one time, big time. Ang sana ang pag-isipan paano i-sustain yung mga ganitong klaseng programa.
Earlier today, the Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board or LTFRB released the board resolution to kick off 24/7 free ride on EDSA busway starting December 1. It was earlier than the previously announced schedule of the implementation by December 15. This to address the expected influx of passengers as holiday season approaches and to ensure mall employees and mall goers that they will still avail safe transportation beyond midnight.
Hindi naman araw-araw ay napupuno talaga natin yung required number. So we were able to incur a little elbow room in terms of the funding, and we committed to the Secretary that the 24/7 operation actually can start even as early as December 1.
According to LTFRB, they will grant special permits on buses who will be scheduled on graveyard shift by December 1. There will be around 100 buses which will be riding EDSA Carousel on 3-way round trips. The Passenger Forum says this 24/7 libreng sakay would be beneficial to employees such as those in business process outsourcing or call center agents, security guards, and others who are working on graveyard shift.
Definitely, malaki ang matutulong nito, no? Na mga 24/7 na transport para sa mga mananakay natin, lalo na yung mga magnagawa.
JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Our kasangbahay, as the world faces these trying times amid the pandemic caused by coronavirus, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity.
Good day. I'm Brother Eli Soriano of the members of the Church of God International. I want to invite you to join us in a minute of prayer every day to pray for humanity and the whole world as we go through these perilous times. While safety measures like washing of hands and strengthening of our immune systems may help us through this horrible predicament, there is still no precaution or cure more powerful than God's mighty intervention. And we need His intervention now more than ever. It doesn't matter what religion you are in or what denomination you belong. This is an invitation for all the people around the world who cares for the future of their family, friends, loved ones, and humanity as a whole. Everybody is welcome to pray with us. For more details, you can check out the description box below. Thank you very much, and I hope to hear from you soon. May God bless you.
And before we close, we will leave you with a word giving glory to God from the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 10. It says, I, the Lord, search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings. And those are the reasons behind the news November 15, 2022. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. And because we need to know, we will always ask why. I am William Theo. We serve the people. We give glory to God.